Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I am Bobby Huon, and let's queer up trans rights. Caitlyn Jenner links trans issues to school shootings in Fox News Rant. Caitlyn Jenner is once again stirring controversy, this time over comments about a deadly school shooting in Minneapolis. The former Olympic athlete and reality TV star, now a Fox News contributor, appeared on Trace Gallagher's show to discuss the shooting at Annunciation Catholic School that left 2 children dead, 17 injured, and the suspect dead by suicide. Court records revealed that the shooter, 22-year-old Robin Westman, had legally changed their name as a teen to reflect a female identity. Media outlets identified Westman as transgender, although a journal later revealed their struggles with being trans, expressing regret and confusion about their gender. Jenner, however, dismissed that narrative. She insisted, quote, "This guy was not a trans person. This was a sick individual," end quote, calling Westman a product of the DEI. She also blamed what she called gender ideology for harming youth, arguing, quote, "The solution is let's not talk about it," end quote. Critics note that neither Jenner nor Gallagher discussed Westman's fixation on mass shooters, extremist slurs found on their weapons, and their political leanings. Instead, Jenner's remarks focused on her ongoing campaign to restrict transgender participation in sports. For many in the LGBTQ community, her comments highlight the dangers of scapegoating trans people instead of addressing the real roots of gun violence. And I would say it's surprising, but my jaw is firmly held in place. I mean, she has been using her own community as scapegoats for a long while now, and of course, over on Twitter, which I would never call it by the new name, the dozens and dozens of conservative commentators are already already trying to pin this. All trans people are now dangerous because there are officially two trans school shooters versus I don't know how many straight white male who are school shooters over the years, but we have 2 trans shooters, and now suddenly the White House has declared that trans people are not allowed to have guns. They're going to take all the guns away from trans people because trans people are quote unquote severely mentally ill. Which made us strange bedfellows with the National Rifle Association, the notoriously conservative NRA, which is now arguing that you cannot take away the guns from trans people. Never mind all the other underlying obviously mental health related symptoms from the courting extremism, obsession with school shooters. I mean, but it's just trans, and media has always sometimes media, especially conservative media, always go for the easiest solution, especially if they find something that they can blame them on.
And Bobby, I'm glad that you brought up like the paranoia, the mental health issues, the obsession with gun violence and attacking trans people that people that have been brainwashed by the right, like Caitlyn Jenner, are under. You know, like it's bizarre her obsession with attacking trans kids in this way. But like on the issue of school shootings themselves, you know, feel like the right's like, oh well, these 2 might be trans, you know, or these other shooter they allege is trans. Like it doesn't make me change my position or think more or less of the trans community. Like Pulse was committed by someone from a Muslim. I didn't change my views on Muslims after seeing that. I think it's still one of the most peaceful religions, especially more peaceful than the religion that this country is dominated by. So like the idea that we would attack trans kids over this, I think is shocking, especially because like no one seems to be talking about like most trans kids do experience mental health strife, and the worst thing they do is they might become suicidal. They don't go out and shoot anyone, which is quite frankly a shocking act of empathy considering the way that communities treat them.
I mean, honestly, they are the ultimate group that are bullied right now. They're bullied by politicians.
But they're more than just bullied. They are targeted in our community.
Yeah. They're targeted. Hell, even within our own community. Sometimes I find my fellow LGBT persons are not nice to the trans community themselves.
Yeah.
You know, that we sort ourselves out. We say no, we would date no trans people, or, we exclude trans people from certain spaces.
Pete Buttigieg, the guy, most likely is gay man to be president in my lifetime, doesn't want to just go out there and support kids being able to play sports. It just throws trans kids under the bus. Like, think about that.
So
That's
does
what these
Gavin
kids are
Newsom.
dealing with every day. Oh, don't even get me on Gavin. He doesn't count. He's not even anywhere near the real Democratic Party.
Yeah, the point is that we have a lot of work to do, not just within our own community, because, I guess, everybody's going to have a scapegoat. And obviously Fox News just grabbed Caitlyn Jenner while they could, just so they can get a warped point of view on this, this subject. And we're all right. It's not about trans or who you are or what color skin you are. It's a mental condition. We know that.
And let's not talk about it. You're not talking about what would prevent does not prevent trans people from harming themselves or having issues. In fact, it would exacerbate it.
Yeah.
The idea that we must not talk about trans issues in front of our children until they are above like 18 or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Edward makes a good point. Watching Fox News does create a mental health condition.
Yes, it does.
In all seriousness, as someone who used to have to watch Fox News for media, they do have a strategy of getting the every marginalized group, of finding one voice of each group to be the betrayer token, to go against them. The Exhibit A is, I always say, is Charles Payne. He will always go after black people of low income and attack them and say that we don't need any government benefits. I'm not shocked that they had Caitlyn Jenner on to attack trans people. I'm sure they have some gay men on there that attack gay men.
In sports, no less. In sports, no less.
Exactly.
The irony of a former Olympic athlete now criticizing.
Wild.
Yeah.
I know. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing to and sharing Queer News Tonight.